Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Final Fantasy XVI. I'm your host, Starnum Lander, and it's time to continue.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into time?
Seems the hideaway.
Well, that music's real dramatic for some side quests.
Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or the parts of them at least. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully she won't. This might even have been her idea. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I know how busy you are. I shall see that the children are properly punished.
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She's even calling them her heirs. She'd have them follow in her footsteps. And her father's.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been spending so much time at the hideaway of late?
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva. Is that not true?
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board, they asked her to oversee the design of several new war engines. To anyone else it would be an opportunity, but to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bitter pill. One she was none too keen to swallow. But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope. The very last thing war can be said to do.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so should I. What's the odd engineering lesson?
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very grateful.
Bring it down a little. We're just doing some side quests, guys. It's all good.
The battle cries of dread won't die. Mother, save us. My view.
They like to make it where you have to go somewhere sometimes, but I should be able to turn around.
It's like
Cloak and dagger.
The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. I'm sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Canva was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
bandits may be no more, but look what they've left us with.
You shouldn't be too hard to find, Goots.
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapped.
Fuck! How the hell did they find it? No one knew where I was keeping that kill.
The finest sell swords in Storm, good enough.
Could be I know something more. What's it worth to you?
I've got 100 gil and a chocobo feather. Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever'll pay her price, be they knight or knave. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords and spears. And who will they all turn to keep them in steel? Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper at work?
Aye, it just so happens I have. You'll find her right here plying her trade most days.
Here in Delamil? Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market, but if you're not the patient type, you can probably find her at her storehouse on the edge of town. But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that particular nest of vipers. Feeling bold, traveler? I hope so, for your sake. Now, if that's all, I have places to be.
Sorry to have kept you.
You don't think Nan's the Reaper, do you?
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh? What do you mean?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks. So who has been running this stall he spoke of?
Good question. I'll go and have a look.
And I'll visit this storehouse on the edge of town.
All right, but be careful, Clive.
You too, Goots.
The finest sell swords in Storm, good enough.
Fuck! How the hell did they...
The gentlemen of the town guard are strapped. What a mess. Where do we even...
You fought very bravely.
The safety of the town is in our hands.
Come on, guys. So good to have us all back together again. Especially you, brother. You can't forget good Torgal.
Torgal. Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
I prefer to struggle and win.
Leave now and we can pretend this didn't happen.
Nah, burn and fry!
Lycans win!
Over here!
Excellent.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his men, he'll have your head. He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed to be here. Who the hell are you anyway?
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in Dalamil. But then you turned up. Well, go on then. If you're going to end me, end me.
You're not worth the effort. Now be gone, before I change my mind.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots. Right now.
Leaving an enemy alive takes more courage than killing him.
Get your filthy paws off me, you naughty-pated lout!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about Nan!
Well, that will be easy enough. For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must pay for her crimes in blood.
Lord!
Goot, are you all right?
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay in blood!
After what she did, it is only right. She ruined my life and the lives of countless others. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime, and I will not allow it to continue. Goots, was it? I have no quarrel with you. Only with your employer. Run along now. You need not pay for her sins.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her, or I'll kill you myself!
Goot, no.
Enough, all of you!
Karen. But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind. Though it was just Bogan back then, wasn't it? I thought the years might have taught you some sense, but I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always been. What was it we called you? Wet legs?
You bitch! Everything that happened, it was all your fault! And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck! You great galoot! Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs. You remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It ain't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same routes. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge. So I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he'd be back one day to claim his due. But he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into this. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too. But what if he comes back again?
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the Wet Legs has learned it already. Right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've attracted quite enough attention already. Ta-ra, Clive.
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry, Nan. I didn't mean to make things worse. I just thought I had to protect you. Like you've protected me.
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you on. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever need help, I'll do it again and again, and you can't stop me.
Why, you big lump. Fine. Play the hero if it makes you happy.
Thanks, Nan. I won't let you down.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own way in life, he'll need to start looking out for himself as well. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back, just like you did in Dalamil. Don't think I didn't appreciate that.
Of course. His family.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favours. A potion today'll cost you the same as it did yesterday.
The Continental Censer. According to Karen, a censer packed with herbs and ambergris can ward off everything from insects to the plague. protect the home from thieves and demons, and heal any number of ailments, all while bringing love and fortune. So you can read. Congratulations, Karen.
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the Hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to. Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Best stock up while you can.
So, about Goots.
That great lump.
Why, he's gentlest, most dutiful soul I've ever had the pleasure to meet. He might not be the brightest crystal in the crate, but he's got a good heart, and I'd far rather have an honest fool working for me than a clever scoundrel. He never shirks his duties, never asks, answers back, never dips his fingers in the coffers.
No.
I won't have a bad word said about him, though I might say a few myself. The lad's even got Blackthorn teaching him the secrets of smithing now, so I'm keeping my one good eye on the forge. If that blowhard of a blacksmith should ever think about doing Goots down, we'll be having words. I wouldn't worry about that.
Coin purse weighing you down?
A little bit. No, actually, I think I'm good. I just needed to check my wares, my stocks.
Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
My lord Marquis, is that you? It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, chief steward of your Lord Uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your Lord Uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your Lord Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas...
Alas?
I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times even that may not prove sufficient to keep a man safe on the road.
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic, the other the old Imperial capital of Oriflamme.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down. I suppose I'll start in Dalamil and work my way east.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray for your success and safety.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy? Are the bad men going to come back?
No, darling, they're not. Never again.
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch. Perhaps. But the gentlemen of the League of Merchants...
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers in your purse.
I already told you, I have nothing.
Then maybe we'll take that pretty outfit and the steel you're wearing.
Please! These men are trying to rob me!
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master, then? If you'd kindly pay the coin he owes us, we can pretend you didn't draw your blade on Republican soldiers.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
It's over! Fire and flame! You're finished!
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here to observe the situation.
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but a whole regiment. I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of the local garrison to make inquiries, his men confiscated my effects and locked me in a cell.
The captain is no more, and his men make the rules now.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free, only to be stopped again by those soldiers you so kindly dispatched.
What of the Fist's Central Command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst their ranks.
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital and hunkered down behind her walls. Those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but themselves.
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria. It's not safe here.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I borrow one of these soldiers' coin purses?
Not at all. Now, to find this second associate of Rutherford's. If he was bound for Oriflamme, I'll start at Northreach and see if I can pick up his trail. There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere.
Nothing like a little unrest. Fill the coffers, eh?
What happened here?
If you're with the others, they've already relieved me of my belongings.
I'm not. I'm looking for someone who was sent here by a man named Rutherford.
And then you found him. I am Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist your Uncle Stuart. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw some villagers being robbed on the road here.
Bandits?
They looked more like field hands, but it didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pommel to the temple.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. I'll take care of them. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach, visit the Vale, tell them I sent you.
Thank you. I shall. Founder be your shield.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
I needed that. Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill might befall the heir to the ducal throne.
It's just Clive, and I'm fine. Which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a brazen attack so close to their gates.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. Some days they don't even send out patrols. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even fewer to transport the grain. The market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight break out over a crust of bread. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it. They were probably just desperate.
Rockford, listen to me. If you are to continue your investigation, you first need to seek the attention of a healer.
Of course. I shall return to Northreach right away. But allow me to thank you first. Had you not happened along, I...
Don't thank me. Thank Rutherford. It was he who sent me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I've got to. I shall send a Pistolus as soon as I'm able. Good day.
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. If it isn't already too late. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in one piece.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago, and now you'd have us believe they're just gone.
You needn't fret. The creatures have been dealt with.
Yeah, but what if they come back? Is there anything we can do to help?
To the meadows, then.
That's what the captain said.
Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. Now that is heady. This must be the Drake's Mint. That just leaves the Skyworm. This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. Too slow.
Farewell.
Got that raptor liver. Some naturalists, some naturalists believe that it is the blueback wyvern's proclivity to feed on carrion that results in their livers becoming so engorged, and that the saint's bonnet with which they follow their meals serves to ameliorate this effect. Others claim that it is the blooms themselves which cause the damage, the wyverns being so taken with the flower's taste that they cannot resist.
I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe. Better head back. I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant flow of traders, and with it, a constant flow of information. Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have resumed their investigations, thanks to you.
I only happened to be in the right place at the right time. They both seem to think the realm's prospects rather grim.
I am afraid that grim would be putting it lightly. Storm is in crisis, and if we are to free her, we must work quickly. And we must work together. Such is your Lord Uncle's wish.
As it is mine.
Smooth like butter. Butler. Smooth like butler. The breath of light. Flare breath. Reduces flare breath cooldown time to 2.7 seconds.
I will see that your Lord Uncle is made aware of the situation in both Dalmekia and Sanbrek. And inform him of your timely assistance, of course.
Alright, let's take a look at our abilities. I need so many points, dude.
Seems the hideaway's lost its appetite.
So, did you have that word with Tomes then?
I did, and he was as helpful as ever. He told me exactly where to look, in fact.
And what precisely will I be cooking up? Or is it better not to know?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint's Bonnet.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, at least it weren't actual worms, I suppose. Now then, You stay right where you are. I've got some cooking to do. Let's hope these grand old chefs of yore knew what they were on about. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered. He as good as begged.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
What the hell?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force. A force of nature, even. A maelstrom of flavour and sensation. A graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
Imagine a dozen of those things. It's fighting all of them at once. You need an army.
Clive. Coin purse weighing you down? You'll not find a better price than that.
Come on. We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they will allow it, the echoes have a will of their own.
Enough of you, are there?
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
You deserve a rest. You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
The ether flood up ahead. It swallowed our camp while we slept. My own men did this. Turned every last one of them. There's a village not far from here. Tabor
the people were kind to us. It's only a matter of time before they won't stand a chance. We can't let those monsters reach the...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you. Our encampment is up ahead. Just off the track. They must not reach Tabor. Forgive me, Lord Kuka.
Rest well, soldier. You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go round it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Good. I got here in time.
Garuda! It's over. Get him. Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it.
Bad Blood complete.
You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there. In Cosnis when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
Man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid. Someday.
I'll be waiting.
Ready, go?
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Back to the stables, girl.
Welcome, travelers. We don't get many visitors here in Tabor.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
Are you buying or selling? Take care.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
the Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherja is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yotei and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloeda knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them, yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
Quite. How dare you?
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king! He has come to save us from the Akashic! He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools! Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city, her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it, like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Omielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty, remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Doesn't ought mean nothing? If nothing were to befall you? I don't know, maybe it used to mean something else.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in
Or maybe
your
it's
debt,
like a
Jose.
accent thing?
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you is bold enough to heed her call? Is that blade for hire, perchance? Because I have a mind to make a killing.
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, yes and no. A passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade, that an elder Dread Evis had been sighted in the fields of Korava. Dread Evis are aggressive beasts. Compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity, but those that do develop a hide of phenomenal value.
A hide you want to sell?
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted into marvels the likes of which the world has never seen. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. But the worked hide of a well-aged beast, Now, that would fetch such coin that Gilbert himself might weep with envy. Bring me that beast's skin, and I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
All right. I'll hunt your Evis.
Of course you will. When one lives in such troubled times, it is a fool who lets opportunity slip his grasp. Leave Tabor through the east gate, but take the path that branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Tovany, you are a mere stone's throw from the fields of Carava. I eagerly await your safe, and above all, triumphant return.
Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix, and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you. If there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
To Canva, then.
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
Ah, Lord Rosfield. I'm afraid I cannot stay to talk. I must leave to collect the reports of our spies in the field. Now that you wear the Phoenix down, our brothers and sisters will no doubt reveal themselves to you too. Farewell, my lord, and may the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart.
The free city's under siege? Who'd have thought it?
Master Cyril, luckily. And thank goodness he told us before we set out.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches will bring down the price.
You there! The strapping lad with the sword. Finally, no one was paying me the slightest heed.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly, this far from home, I'm just a vagrant greybeard.
The university? You're a scholar.
A specialist in ancient cultures. The most accomplished in all Valisthea, some have said. Not that I look the part in these tattered rags. In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened windbag, bested by the many steps of Tabor. The answers I seek lying just beyond my enfeebled reach. Would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my stead? You'll be amply rewarded, of course.
Climb the stairs and
memorize a few inscriptions for me. Assuming you know your letters, that is. Some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history into stones dotted about the village. 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carvings might shed light on a riddle I've been pondering for some time. Namely, the otherwise undocumented origins of Tabor's unique people. People quite unlike those of neighboring lands.
I can't promise I'll remember everything perfectly.
Remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the domed pavilions, and you'll have no trouble finding the stones.
How are those new boots treating you?
They're fantastic. Soft as phoenix down, but tough as boiled bone.
That Cyril fellow's an odd fish, don't you think?
Well, scholarly sorts like him always are, aren't they?
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Delta.
You wouldn't happen to have a decent whetstone in there, would you, madam?
I'm sure I can find you something. All of these stones are dust in them. That'll see your sword sharp, all right?
An ether flood, yes. And not a stone's throw away.
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor, sacred hold thy noble blood till ends the mother's labor.
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Not a scratch on them. Have you noticed the Elder has been coughing less of late?
Yes.
Wanderers of the golden plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder?
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land, reap her promised blessing, and give praise her gracious hand.
Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read. The engravings were in good repair considering their age.
Oh, would that I could have seen them for myself. Come, don't tease me now. What did you learn of this place and its people? Let's start with the engraving to the south, shall we? What did it say?
Guardians of the Crystal.
Guardians of the Crystal, the first stones of Tabor. Sacred hold thy noble blood, till ends the mother's labor. I'm pretty sure that was it.
Fascinating. It would seem the founders of this city were descendants of those fallen charged with protecting the mother crystals. But whatever could have driven the Guardians so far from their sacred charges, I wonder? The engraving to the north is next, I think.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone. With pride recall thy noble past, and make these rocks a home. Or, I think that was it, at least.
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs in Tabor its guardian roots could never account for. This is proving most enlightening. Now, for the final stone.
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land.
Children of the hunters, now tillers of the land. Reap her promised blessing, and give praise her gracious hand. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive farmers to Tabor's founding peoples, the final piece of the puzzle. 3 engravings, one for each of the 3 peoples to have settled Tabor in ancient times. Guardians of the Mother Crystal, wanderers from across the plains, and last but certainly not least, hunters turned farmers. Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Those roots reach down through 3 distinct traditions. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not better known among scholars, given that the stones stand here for all to see.
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many by far. Here, and thank you.
Carved in stone. Complete.
Careful how you pack that leather. Any creases or scratches will bring down the price.
free cities under siege?
Are you sure this is the right way, brother?
Don't question me, boy. I know which way I go.
Time to fight. We'll get surrounded.
Haha, I did not know you could do that. That was pretty cool.
Careful.
Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet.
Avis skin. The thick, scaled skin of an avis claimed by some to be as old as the mountains themselves, though it has most likely seen but a decade or two.
This thing reeks. The sooner it's off my hands, the better. Here's your hide, as requested.
I worried you might never return. Quickly, let me see it. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek, yet as adamant as her virtue. This is everything I had hoped for, and more. Clearly, my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of considerable talent to have bested the beast with nary a scratch. Join me as my honored partner. With my means and your might, we shall be as wealthy as the merchant kings of Zemeckis.
I don't plan on making a habit of this. I'm busy enough as it is.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would be unbecoming of me to beg. Do not allow me to keep you from being about your business. Here, for the hide.
Alright guys, it's about that time again. Stream's not over. Oh no. It's time to go check the lore. And then after that, I was thinking, do some hunts.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
I was wondering when next you'd visit.
Oh yes.
I have a few new notes that might interest you.
I thought you might.
What subject shall we consider today?
Tabor, an ancient settlement in central southern Dalmatia that seems to cling to the very cliffs which dominate the landscape of the region. Its proximity to the free cities of Canver give Tabor a ready market for the high-quality leather its tanners produce, as well as the salt and minerals mined from beneath it, unbeknownst to its citizenry. It is from here that, since the fall of Rosalith to the Empire, the secretive coven of ducal loyalists known as the Undying have carried out their duties to the Phoenix. Origins. Huh. A settlement. Yeah, we just read that. And for its leatherworking, the signature stench of its tanneries ever prevalent in the canyons that lead in and out of town, and as such skilled craftsmen abound, transforming hides into all manner of wondrous creations. Tabor was founded by the so-called Guardians of the Crystal, who were later joined by nomadic peoples and hunter-gatherers, creating a rich, mixed culture which gives the town its unique flavor. It was those hunters with the same skills who employed to gather the raw materials on which the leatherworking industry was built. The Undying, a secretive order who serve the lords of Rosaria from the shadows. They revere the mighty Phoenix and its dominant, and once preside over the rites of ancestral communion at Phoenix Gate. Few outside the order know of its existence, even among the highest-ranking members of Rosarian nobility, and to this very day, with Rosaria reduced to a mere imperial province, they continue to serve the rightful keeper of the flame, His Grace, Joshua Rosfield. Ote, a member of the Undying, a secret society sworn to protect and serve the Rosfields of Rosaria, and the dominant of the Phoenix, who is always born in their line. After her order rescued Joshua Rosfield from ruins of Phoenix Gate and nursed him back to health, Fiote was tasked by her order to accompany and protect him on his journey to uncover the truth of Ultima. Cyril, a senior member of the Undying known as the Bearer of the Burning Quill, who coordinates his order's research into Ultima from their headquarters in the Dalmacian village of Tabor. At his liege Lord Joshua's command, he lends his and his order's strength to Clive. Persons of interest. Idol of the Undying, dominant of the Phoenix and younger brother of Clive, Joshua Rosfield. After surviving the disaster at Phoenix Gate, he devoted himself to uncovering the truth behind the emergence of the second Icon of Fire. With the help of the Undying, he obtained a copy of the journal of Moss, the chronicler, from whose pages he learned of the existence of Ultima, the creature he was later to meet with and seal away inside himself in the sanctuary of Drake's Head. Now reunited with his brother, he and Clive fight as one to defeat Ultima and forge a new fate for mankind. Dion Lesage? No? Karen. A hidden past. One of Sid's most trusted allies, a merchant by trade, Karen was born in lands beyond Valisthea. She came to the twins as a weapons dealer, selling to anyone willing to pay, an attitude that earned her not only a fortune, but a price on her head. It was while fleeing from her many enemies that she met Sid, who gave her refuge in exchange for her exclusive services. Her hard-working assistant, Goose, who she calls her right eye, pun, play on words there, missing an eye, she bought from his neglectful parents. Sad. Goots, a hidden past. Apprentice to Karen, an ally of the Hideaway. Karen purchased Goots from his neglectful parents after witnessing how they abused and undervalued their child, and it has been his pleasure to serve her ever since. His nan feels much the same way about him, going so far as to call him her right eye, and on the rare occasions she lets her true feelings slip. Molly, chief cook at Clive's Hideaway, who had inherited the role from Kenneth after he lost his life in Titan's attack. Molly's true passion lies in the baking of pastries and other sweet meats, but alas, shipments of sugar to the Hideaway are far and few between. Instead, she pushes the boundaries of her culinary repertoire by assisting even in reviving the questionable dishes proffered by his questionable cookbook. Felipe, imperial soldier of the Northreach garrison whose heart pines for none other than Isabel. He leads the stand against the threats Northreach faces and inspires his fellow soldiers to do the same. Conrad, master of the Dalamil kitchens, where he serves filling yet inexpensive fare to the people of the town and the miners of Drake's Fang. After his town was set upon by bandits, Conrad led the faction pushing for the recruitment of mercenaries to take bloody revenge. However, he was convinced to look instead at forming a town guard drawn from the citizens of Dalamil, of whom he became the inaugural leader. Natalie, veteran trader of the Dalamil markets, turned leader of its new league of merchants, the group responsible for filling and maintaining the town's collective stories. Though she loathes violence and argued vehemently against the plan to hunt down the bandits who attacked Dalamil, she is passionate about protecting the town and its people. When the bandits returned, she was the first into the fray. Oscar, nephew of Rodney Murdoch, late Lord Commander of the Rosarian Army. Though he served under Sir Wade in the Guardians of the Flame, he had always dreamed of following in his uncle's footsteps and squiring to a scion of the Rossfields. His wish is granted when Clive accepts him as squire and brings him back to the Hideaway, that he might learn from Cid the Outlaw's example. Sir Wade, joining forces with Martha, a loyal shield of Rosaria and leader of the Guardians of the Flame, who fight against imperial rule in the duchy, sheltering bearers from the Black Shield's cullings. After the skies turned their base in the Lazarus district outside Port Isolde was swallowed by an ether flood, leading them to seek shelter in Martha's Rest. In return for Martha's hospitality, the Guardians aid the Blood Axes in defending the village. Rutherford, out and about, manservant to Lord Byron Rossfield. In normal circumstances, his daily duties touch all aspects of running his master's manor. Of late, however, Byron has bade him leave the safety of Port Isolde to conduct a survey into the political, military, and economic situation of Storm, a task in which he has enjoined the assistance of several of his fellow butlers to the nobility. Okay. Ultima. Joshua's findings. The otherworldly being behind much of the tragedy and turmoil that has plagued Valisthea. Ultima requires a vessel in which to inculcate his disembodied soul, and Clive's curious ability to absorb the powers of other icons suggest that he is the very mythos that Ultima has long awaited. He wills Clive to absorb the other icons, that his vessel might be perfected. Lay of the land, Valisthea. Following Primogenesis, a realm comprising the twin continents of storm and ash, over which the mother crystals stand timeless vigil, timeless that is, until Cid and his disciples commence their campaign to bring each one crashing down, spreading chaos and confusion to every corner of the land. When ill-omened clouds, summoned by Ultima, gathered over Valisthea, the delicate balance governing the magic-yielding power of ether was finally shattered, and the realm was changed forever. The imperial province of Rosaria, following the destruction of Twinside, a nation formerly known as the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm. While Rosaria has been a vassal state of the Empire for nigh on 2 decades, the uprising in Twinside, led by Prince Dion Lesage and his loyal dragoons, and subsequent death of both Holy Emperor and Empress in the year of 878, has left Sanbreque with barely the wherewithal to rule itself, rendering the erstwhile dukedom a subject of the Empire in name and little else. The Blood Axes, the band of sellswords, tasked with the protection of Martha's Rest. In the absence of any assistance from the nearby imperial garrison, it falls to them to keep watch on the roads and keep the beasts and bandits of the swamplands from Martha's Gate. The Holy Empire of Sanbreque, a son's betrayal. A nation occupying the northeastern reaches of the continent of Storm, after its administrative capital moved to Twinside in the neighboring Crystalline Dominion in the year of 873, an insurgency led by Prince Dion Lesage upended the political and military order, spreading unrest and disruption across the land. This disruption was furthermore worsened when Ultima unleashed Primogenesis, obliterating Twinside and plunging the realm yet deeper into chaos. The Men of the Rock, a republic on the brink, a private army under the command of Hugo Kuka, originally employed to guard Drakesfang. The bulk of the force was co-opted by Kuka when he seized control of the Mother Crystal, and has served him and only him since. After Kuka's death, his forces scattered, largely returning to the countryside where many now engage in banditry. The Town Guard, the volunteer fighting force assembled and led by Conrad. Unlike the Men of the Rock or the mercenaries previously charged with keeping Dalimil safe, every member of the Guard is a Dalimilian born and bred and has the future of the town at heart. Many of the miners who lost their livelihoods when Drakesfang fell have found a new purpose in the Guard, swinging swords and axes in place of picks. The League of Merchants, the group responsible for filling and maintaining Dalimil's collective stores, that all might be supported in this troubled times. It draws its memberships from the traders of the town and is led by Natalie, overseer of the markets. It was she who recognized that Dalimil's future could not be secured by force of arms alone. Only by bringing the entire town together might they summon the strength to drive back the bandits. Lord Underhill, Clive's alter ego, albeit one that was forced upon him by Lubor's fondness for theatrics. It was Lord Underhill of the Rondella League of Merchants who made it known to Natalie that help from the capital would not be forthcoming, and that the people of Dalimil must work together to fill their own stores. Jill was rather more convincing in the role of Lady Jane of the Red Wings, who planted the idea of forming a town guard in Conrad's mind. Both Conrad and Natalie still address Clive by this name, though in Natalie's case, this would appear to be naught but a courtesy to his dramatic efforts. The Crojid echoes, a bleak, ochre wilderness stretching through central Dhalmekia. Its northern half is a veritable warren of claustrophobic canyons and fallen detritus, lacking paved roads or outposts of any kind. In the south, however, the area finally opens up to Risnov Flat, and beyond it the reclusive community of Tabor. This, and the lonely trade route leading to the free cities of Canver, provide the region with at least some semblance of civilization. The kingdoms of Waylu, Maki nations, the sole surviving nation in Ash. Waylu has its capital at Stonehere, home to the mother crystal of Drake's spine. It is ruled over by Barnabas Starm, dominant of Odin and warden of darkness, who it transpires has formed an alliance with a mysterious being known as Ultima. The Canver City Guard, a private military force employed to keep the peace in the free cities of Canver. The guard is paid for by the city's merchants and tradespeople, and is employed in the absence of an official state army. Its duties mainly consist of patrolling and maintaining order within the city walls. Boy, they cover everything, don't they? The mysteries of the realm. Crystal. Post-primogenesis. One of the most valuable materials known to mankind, thanks to its ability to channel ambient ether from the air, allowing those without an innate power to do so to cast magics. After Ultima cast primogenesis and the skies over Valisthea darkened, many of the municipal crystals that fired forges and filled wells began to fail. In certain areas, even those rationed shards that the people relied on in their everyday lives lost their spark, making life all but unlivable. Ancient mural. A religious image found across Valisthea, not only in the apothecary under Phoenix Gate and in the Comreich near the heart of Drake's Breath, but upon a tapestry in Tabor too. It depicts the icons arranged in adoration of a central figure believed to be Ultima, the god that rules above them all. Echoes, awakening, strange clockwork constructs, often encountered in fallen ruins. The question of whether or not they are truly alive is often to debate, as they do not appear to require water, nor do they feed on the flesh of their victims as beasts do, seemingly existing solely to protect their habitat from intruders. Though it is widely assumed that they are vestiges of the fallen civilization, some of the structures they preside over, such as the apothecary and the sanctuaries at the heart of the mother crystals, seem to predate even the bygone age. In the aftermath of the primogenesis, beneath the blackened skies that followed, they emerged from the ruins at last and can now be seen wandering the entirety of Valisthea. Okay. Really clears things up, you know. Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage. An ancient recipe book that instructs one how to make toothsome fare from the game of the realm, though the outdated tongue in which it is penned makes it difficult to divine precisely what beast is being proposed for the pot. It was discovered in the shelves by Ivan, as he hunted for inspiration to expand his culinary repertoire. And expanded he did, summoning forth the Chauncer's stew, a piquant, some might say putrid, ragout of scorpion tails, whose flesh was as soft as the silt of the swamps in which they lived, and the flavor similarly comparable. The Hideaway's head chef Molly was not to be outdone, however, drawing from the pilgrimage's pages a fried motress of skyworm, the dish consisting of wyvern livers sautéed with saint's bonnet, was heralded a tour de force among those who tasted it. That's great. Mythos, Clive's power, the name by which Ultima addresses Clive. It appears to be his title for the vessel for limitless power that he means to make of the young Lord Marquis. The being identifies Clive as the mythos that he has long sought by virtue of his awakening as the dominant of Vifrit, and having the power to absorb the ether of other icons. Primogenesis, its effect on the land. A spell cast by Ultima that cast a roiling pall over all Valisthea. The unbalance in the ether that resulted not only sapped the potency of crystals and magic in those lands that remained livable, but filled the rest not only with his glowing thralls, but with ether floods, turning men and beasts into mindless, merciless Akashic. Engineering. The technology of the fallen civilization was highly advanced, and though many, an archaeologian, an engineer, has sought to study the workings of the curious contraptions they left behind, little light has yet been shed on their secrets. Engineers of the present day largely learn from each other. Indeed, the knowledge that Mid learned in the University of Canver she now shares with the children of the Hideaway, that they might one day stand on her shoulders as well. The bestiary. What little beasties will we learn about today? All but one. Adamantoises. Aught but one, I should say. Enormous creatures with nigh impermeable and oddly fertile shells that play host to divers' flora that provide the painfully conspicuous reptiles with much needed camouflage in the bogs and fens that call their homes. They call their homes. At a glance, these lumbering giants may not appear much of a threat, but at first sign of danger, they will retract their heads and limbs and whip themselves into frenetic spins that have been known to flatten entire homes. Woo! Big turtle boys? Okay. And there we have it all caught up.
The door to the shelves shall ever be open.
We just can't get too far behind, it stacks up, so.
Is a storm coming soon?
Every now and then we gotta hit that library, do some studying, we a lore stream.
Seems the hideaways.
We like to get all studied up. We know exactly what's going on in Valisthea. Isn't that right, Brother Joshua?
Were it not for the Undying's aid, I would be long dead. Grant them your trust, and they will repay you with their loyalty.
Okay, let's go look at doing some hunts. But first...
Clive. What is it that you wish to learn? Here's the latest information I have.
Encounter with the Undying. In Dalmekian village of Tabor, Clive meets with the Undying, a secret society sworn to serve the Phoenix, who have been aiding his brother and his researches into Ultima since the day of the disaster at Phoenix Gate.
Here you are.
Following Clive to Canver. In Tabor, Clive meets with Joshua's attendant Yote and his chronicler Cyril, both members of the Undying who are sworn to his service. After bidding them both farewell, Clive, Jill, and Joshua press on to Canver.
The state of the realm is ever-changing, Clive.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper.
Well, alright then.
Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Oh, I know it. No risk, no reward, orchestrion roll. Oh, we got some new beats. Since I can remember, I have served none but myself. Turned my back on the world for a handful of silks and a heavy purse. But where has that left me? It is hard to keep joy in one's heart when all those around you are without. Something must change, and that change must start with me. A lonely porter.
You earned this. Come again. I may have more for you.
South of Tabor, the Pack. A team of Cursebreakers traveling through Tabor to the fields of Karava were met by a group of hunters from the village who warned them not to stray too far from the main road, for in a gully not far hence rested a pack of wolves that even such a practiced hunters as they would not dare to wake, despite the fine luster of the animals' pelts. Too many of their friends had succumbed to temptation, only to be torn limb from limb. South of Tabor, the Pack.
The free cities under siege?
Come on.
Orcs. Then let us be rid of them.
Get surrounded.
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
You know, when you're trying to do side quests and the main story just gets in the way.
You deserve a rest.
The pack.
Remember, you're on my side, Torgal. Shouldn't have messed with the leader of the pack, eh, boy?
Did you see that? Tell me you saw it.
The Ten of Clubs. Merchants who ply their trade across the fields of Kurava tell of an outlaw 5 and 20 hands high, and mighty of thew, who preys upon unescorted travelers. They claim he lives alone in one of the many abandoned villages that litter the region, but none has been brave nor foolish enough to narrow the search any further. If you who read this have either or both of those qualities, the Dalmekians beg your aid. Valmer, Dalmekia.
Come on.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Time to fight. Enough of you, are there? Time to fight. No holding back. I can walk from here.
The Tin of Clubs.
Another god's forsaken soul, eh? Only those who have nothing. Show empty your pockets.
A deserter turned outlaw. We were more similar than he knew.
Clive. Go on, then. You're rubbing me blind, you know. Is that all? Did you see that? Tell me you saw that.
The Magus Brothers. A lone rowing boat has been sighted making land off the coast of Port Isolde. Its occupants wearing the garb and speaking the language of the Iron Kingdom Crusaders. One can only assume that they come to take their vengeance upon Cid the Outlaw for destroying that which they hold most dear. We advise against all travel to the area lest they think to kill or capture our members in retaliation. Quiet Sands of Rosaria.
Ready, go?
Okay, I just thought that moose looked suspicious, so I wanted to see. Just wanted to get a better look at it.
Come on. Faster!
The Magus Brothers.
Darken our shores again, but not for long.
Come on. That's better.
It's over.
Enough of your nonsense. Level up.
No more vengeance. No more war.
Think I might just stand here for a while. Watch the tide come in. And that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks again for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back here with another episode next weekend. And until then, take care.